Hi, I'm Dr. Janet Little. I'm a wife, mother, family medicine physician, trauma informed resilience coach, speaker, and CEO of Optimal Vitality MD. And I am so thrilled to welcome you to 6 common obstacles to your goals and how to navigate them. Today, we're going to dive into a transformative journey that will equip you with the essential strategies to conquer challenges and pave the way to your success. And the only requirement for you is that you have a willingness to learn, take action, and put those things into practice. So here's what you can expect. Over the next several minutes, we're going to explore a powerful 6 step process designed to help you overcome obstacles, enhance your motivation, and achieve your dreams with practical techniques that you can apply immediately in your life. So, why does this matter? The ability to navigate obstacles and maintain motivation is at the heart of achieving any goal. So, whether you're striving for personal growth, professional success, or a combination of both, the strategies we're about to uncover will be your toolkit for progress. So, let's go. While many know me for helping countless patients as a doctor and numerous professionals through the coaching process, my life wasn't always this way. My story evolved from stress, overwhelm, and burnout. Immersed in the bustling world of healthcare, I found myself facing a toxic environment as a physician leader, grappling with relentless demands and numerous fires to extinguish, such that the emotional toll began to weigh heavily on me. And struggling to cope with the stress and the pain, I resorted to unhealthy habits. There was a time when a glass or more of wine in the evening became a means of escape from the chaos surrounding me. I numbed my emotions, hoping it would alleviate the agony within. However, I soon realized that this was only perpetuating the damage to my mind, my body, and my spirit. You see, we have a tendency to mask our pain behind vices like food, alcohol, shopping, busyness, and I'm okay in an attempt to suppress how we really feel. Has there been a time in your life when you felt so utterly overwhelmed that you chose to bury your emotions, desperately praying that the agony would somehow disappear? All while you bore the weight of it all in silence and a smile on your face. As I gaze at my exhausted reflection in the mirror, a shell of a woman, as I'm often reminded when I look at this picture next to my young son, I knew I had a choice to make, an unwavering commitment to rise above the darkness and reclaim my life. Now, it wasn't easy, and it definitely wasn't glamorous, but it was necessary for me to rediscover myself to be able to share this transformation with you. Before we can talk about navigating those obstacles that block us from our greatness, let's first identify them. By identifying obstacles before attempting to navigate them is crucial for several compelling reasons. By recognizing and understanding the obstacles in your path, it provides clarity about what you're up against. This clarity allows you to then focus your energy, resources, and efforts on addressing specific challenges rather than working blindly and getting overwhelmed. In essence, by identifying obstacles before attempting to navigate them, it empowers you with knowledge, foresight, and strategic thinking, significantly enhancing your ability to overcome challenges and achieve your goals. So let's start with our first, and these are in no particular order, automatic negative thoughts, or ants, stinking thinking. Now, we've all been plagued by negative thinking. Negative thinking is a potent blocker to achieving our goals because once it begins, it tends to escalate and snowball out of control, which steals your happiness. These ants can hinder our goals by eroding confidence, reducing motivation, creating fear of failure, distorting perceptions, promoting procrastination, becoming a self fulfilling prophecy, weakening your resilience, impairing decision making, draining your energy, on and on and on. So let's talk about some of the ants and see if you can identify any in your life. What about the less than ant? This is when you compare and see yourself less than others. Or what about the if only and I'll be happy when? This is a very common ant. And this is where you're arguing with your past and longing for the future. I'll give you some examples. I'll be happy when I get this house, or I'll be happy when I lose this weight, or when I get married. And how about the guilt beating ant? Thinking in words like I should, I must, I ought, or I have to. And this next one, lack of self confidence. Following closely on the heels of negative thinking is a lack of self confidence, which is the bane of any goal achievement. There was a time when I had lost confidence in myself. And you see, the root word of confidence is confide, to trust. I stopped trusting myself. Why was that? It's because I was the only person who had ever heard every lie I've ever told myself. We have a tendency to lose self confidence because we've broken our own word with ourselves more than we've broken our word with any other person. Has there been a time in your life when you've stopped trusting yourself because you let yourself off the hook over and over and over again? And then as a result, we then make these commitments to ourselves. We struggle to believe in them because we've let ourselves down in the past repeatedly. And so this cycle undermines our self confidence and erodes our ability to trust ourselves. Now, this next one, lack of boundaries. It goes without saying that every goal requires you to work and persevere to reach success. The only reason to create boundaries is to protect something we value, whether it's your time, energy, goals, personal well being, relationships, or any other aspect of your life. Boundaries serve as protective measures to ensure what you hold dear remains safeguarded and prioritized. Another big one. Who among us can claim we've never lost our way on the path towards our dream? We want to reach that milestone, but we keep getting thwarted by distractions. And without focus, we may find ourselves jumping from one thing to the next, unable to concentrate on the critical actions that propel you towards your dream. And then time traps. Making your way towards goals is challenging enough without having the irritation of not enough time to do it. But how do we spend our time? As a society, we've become so consumed by distractions, interruptions, or tasks that don't align with our goals. This can result in inefficiency and a lack of progress towards aspirations. So, are we spending more time in the doing or more time in the being? And lastly, is a lack of aspiration. If you're unsure about what you really want in your life, it's a challenge to continue steadily towards that goal. A lack of aspiration acts as an obstacle to our goals by limiting direction, motivation, clarity, commitment, and growth. It can lead to procrastination, missed opportunities, stagnation, and challenges in overcoming the obstacles. Now, I know that was a lot. because everything we are is a product of our past. But the good news is that your past does not predict your future because you now have a choice to do something different. We all have the ability to change. So now that you have a better idea of the blocks you have or may encounter on your way to achieving your goals and dreams, let's now talk about how we navigate through them. So, this first one, stomping the ants. To tame your thoughts, it necessitates eliminating the ants. Now, don't get me wrong. I strongly believe in affirmations and positive thinking, but what I have a problem with is emotional bypassing of negative thoughts and emotions through toxic positivity. If we're not willing to understand the root of that fear or other emotion and only suppress it through positive thinking, that emotion will continue to rear its ugly head in other aspects of your life. But when you bring the unconscious to the conscious and learn to dance with that fear, it no longer has power. And if done so diligently, you'll stop feeding that inner me, that enemy within that tells you that you're not enough. Just understand your words, your thoughts matter. Yeah, I know this one is a doozy. Quit. And it sounds crazy coming from a resilience coach because quitting has this connotation of weakness. We've all heard that quitters never win and winners never quit. But I want you to redefine what quitting means because there is power in quitting. Whatever you're saying no to is a yes to something else. And did you know that the most successful people quit all the time, but they do it consciously and intentionally? And it's important to notice how you are quitting. It opens up space to succeed in more valuable areas of your life. So you may have to quit something in order to get the results that you desire. This next step is managing your tolerations. And tolerations are those unmanaged frustrations that suck the life out of new possibilities. They can show up as lack of boundaries, disorganization, unreleased shame, unresolved guilt, playing small to avoid taking risk, staying in your comfort zone. And the trick about tolerations is that they're subtle. They're like that music playing in the background. Tolerations will cause you to sacrifice your integrity with yourself. So, my question for you is what are you tolerating? And more importantly, what are those tolerations costing you? Now, this next step is about clarifying our commitments. The issue isn't about goal setting, the real issue is about commitment. And thought leader Dr. Michael Beckwith famously said, pain pushes until our vision pulls us. In other words, the pain is there for a purpose, but when the pain is so much greater than the vision, the goals you set are based on threat and consequences, which creates this energy that demotivates. This then creates a negative connection with that goal and shows up as procrastination, self sabotage, or even dimming your light. So, in order to clarify your commitments, remind yourself of your why. And then, who benefits by me choosing to take this path? If I stop, who loses? And what problems get solved when this goal or intention gets accomplished? Now, this next one is about managing your energy. And notice I said energy and not time. We have four energy sources, that's physical energy, emotional energy, mental energy, and spiritual energy. And in each one of these, energy can be expanded and regularly renewed by establishing specific rituals and behaviors. Now, these behaviors and rituals need to be intentionally scheduled and practiced every day with consistency. And when we practice and engage in these behaviors enough, they become our automatic and unconscious responses to stress and exhaustion. The more we practice these behaviors and make them a part of our day, we begin to create this abundant source of energy and will ultimately feel as though we have enough time to get it all done. And this last one, taking intentional action. Earlier, we talked about self confidence and how we lack it because we don't trust ourselves. But there is a powerful solution. If we can eliminate the habit of making excuses and commit to treating every promise we make to ourselves as sacred, we can change the game. By holding ourselves accountable and following through on our commitments consistently, we build trust in ourselves. So imagine this process of wash, rinse, repeat, wash, rinse, repeat. Every time we make a decision or set a goal, we approach it with unwavering determination and follow it through to completion. And then with each small victory, our self trust grows and our confidence begins to soar. Our words will now carry more weight and our intentions will align with our actions. This newfound self trust becomes the foundation upon which we can build a life that's filled with purpose and achievement and fulfillment. Whew, that was a lot of information, I know, but speaking of intentional action, let's now integrate these steps because, as my coach says, information without implementation is ignorance. Like you just place your hands over your center of your chest, one over the other, and take a full deep breath in and deep breath out. And one more time, deep breath in and breathe out. And I want to invite you to just imagine a future version of yourself who's living the life of your dreams. Everything is exactly as you've always wanted and dreamed of. And I want you to specifically focus towards a domain of your life that you're hoping to grow in or take to the next level. And that could be your career, family, relationships, finances, health or well being, religion, or spirituality. What do you notice about your life if this vision came true? And I want you to just feel into it like life was a miracle. Now, I'm just going to ask you a few questions, and I want you to see what arises in these questions. What emerges? The first question is, what is an action or a choice in your life that you need to take but you're avoiding taking? What is an action or a choice in your life that you know you need to take but you're avoiding taking? The second question is, what is the story that you're telling yourself about why you cannot or should not make this choice? What's the story you're telling yourself about why you cannot or should not make this choice? The real reason I'm not making this choice or taking this action is, and fill in the blank. The real reason I'm not taking this action or making this choice is. What's the real reason underneath? What are you really afraid of? And then now to take us into a place of action, my final question for you is, my next best action is. My next best action is. Now I want you to just be with that for a moment. And I invite you, just hug yourself. Know that you're worthy and that you're enough and you're ready. You don't have to be totally healed to step into the life of your dreams. I'm a witness to that. So take one last deep breath in and out and welcome back. How is that for you? So, as we come to a close, my hope for today is that you were able to identify those obstacles holding you back from overcoming your goals, and now you have tools to navigate them. If you felt you've learned something valuable here today, go ahead and put in the chat, I did. And the best way for you to pay me back is to let me know what you thought about my presentation today. I want to know what you liked about it so I can do more of it, and I want to know what you didn't like so I can improve upon it. I'd love for you to take a very quick, less than 2 minute Talk It Out survey. So if you can grab your phones and scan the QR code, or you can go to talk.ac/Dr. Jan. And as a thank you for giving me your thoughts and feedback, when you enter in the code free at the end of the survey as a thank you, you'll get access to the companion workbook, 6 Common Obstacles to Your Goals and How to Navigate Them. So, as you continue your journey, may you always remember that within you lies the strength to overcome any obstacle. You can start your journey today with a 30-minute complimentary clarity session with me, or connect through any of these channels. Thank you again for allowing me to serve you.